we have joining us the amazing band Before Fire to talk about their self-titled debut EP, as well as their journey into the London rock and roll scene. Before Fire is a Copenhagen-born band that draws inspiration from their personal rock heroes, reviving and revamping the gritty, back-to-basics sounds that we all love. So now let's just jump right into it. So how are you guys doing today?
Hi, we're good. We're good.
We're doing great, yeah.
Yeah, nice to be
So
here.
let's just start with some introductions. So if you guys just want to introduce yourselves and what you guys do in the band.
Cool, yeah. Hello, my name is Matthias, and I'm the lead singer.
Yeah, and I'm Tobias, and I play the drums. Unfortunately, our guitar player, Conrad, he couldn't make it today.
Thank you guys so much for being here. It's really great to have you guys on. First, I'd just like to talk a little bit about kind of the history of the band and how you guys got together.
Yeah, I guess I'll take that. The band started, well, I think in 2016. Me and Conrad, our guitar player, we've been friends for 10 years and always wanted to do something together. And then one day in 2016, we just decided now it's time. And then for like 2 years, we had a lot of back and forth with the different members. And then last Matthias, our current frontman, and then from there on, it's like that's the second birth of the band, if we can put it that way. So, yeah, in the spring of 2018, we met him, and that's where it all started, kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really awesome. So, Matthias, what was it like for you joining the band after these guys had already been together for a little bit? Was it natural? Did it feel a little awkward at first?
Well, I think they were nice to introduce me to the band and how they did things, but it was also difficult because when making music, you always have different ways of doing it, and I think how these guys did it was different from the way I did it before. So into their way of doing things. So I think we merged good in that way. Yeah.
Yeah, that's really great to hear. So, Matthias, were you in a band prior to this? Were you making music on your own prior to this?
Yeah, actually, I have been in a rock band before, but that was actually playing drums. I've started out drumming when I started out playing music.
Oh wow, okay.
Yeah, and then I had a period where I wasn't in a band. I actually did some acting. Yeah, just playing music by myself at home with my guitar and singing and stuff like that. And then one day I saw this ad on Facebook. These guys playing a tune and asking, "Are you our new front guy?" And I was like, in the period where I didn't really know what to do with my life, I was did some acting and I played some music at home, and I was like, yeah, I need to be the front man of this band. So
was
I
it really
kinda,
clear at that point?
yeah, and I auditioned. It clicked somehow. Yeah.
Oh, that's really awesome.
Hmm.
Yeah, so when you guys formed the band, you actually formed the band in Denmark, yes?
Yes, that's
Yeah,
right.
yeah, we were all from we all lived in Copenhagen at the time when we formed the band, and we stayed there for a good 2 years or so. While we had the band going, and we had some great times playing in and around Copenhagen.
Yeah.
We did our release party when Matthias joined the band, which sold out and was an amazing night.
Oh
So we
wow.
had some great times, but taking things to the next step didn't seem super natural in Copenhagen when you play the music that we do. So we decided that it was maybe time to try something else and step things up a notch if we really wanted to make something more out of this than just having a. Yeah, that's where it came from.
Yeah.
Yeah, so when you guys were ready to take it to this next level, when you really wanted to get out there, you guys actually made the move to London, yeah?
Yeah.
Yes.
So how was that move?
Well, it's been already a big journey because even though it's not that far away from Denmark, it's still we all quit our jobs not knowing what we would just and we found this apartment where we're all staying together, and that's great. But yeah, it's been crazy until yes.
Yeah, and maybe like just a side note, we've only been here for 2 months, so
Yes.
it's still still quite new, but so far so good.
Yeah.
Played our first gig here and got to meet some really nice people. So far so good. Yeah. Still quite new, but so far so good.
Yeah.
Played our first gig here and got to meet some really nice people. So far so good. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's great that you guys were able to really just pack up and get yourselves out to London to try to take your music to the next step, especially since London is this really big hub for music out there. I know that Emma really loves the London
I'm
music
really
scene.
into like I don't know if you know about the Southeast London scene. It's a bit more jazzier, so I don't know if like how involved you are with that, but
not super involved. Like I think the only thing we know about South London is probably the rap scene from there. Like
really? Okay, I don't know anything about a rap scene, but that's cool.
Yeah, so where are you guys based in London? Like what area are you guys in?
we're in North London.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I really, I don't know why that matters to me because I really don't know my areas of London.
Well, we had no idea where to look, so we were just like, okay, we're gonna move to London, and then wherever we can get a flat, then. So we ended up here quite randomly.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a good method too, just kind of jump in, get your feet wet, and see what you can make of it.
Was it a hard adjustment from Denmark to London, or to England, I suppose?
Yeah, well, I think all of us lived like a bit like outside Copenhagen, so there's not like all this crazy city life, and I think we moved to a place. London is just so big, so even though you're far from the city center, it's still life. So, and we live next to this big street where there's just life like all hours of the day.
24/7, yeah.
So that's pretty crazy.
Yeah. So like Copenhagen is like I think 800,000 people to a million, and London is like 8 million people. So obviously that changes. Yeah, and just like London is bigger, like population-wise, than the entire Denmark. So it's obviously there's going to be some big changes there, but just settling in has been, it's been challenging, but at the same time, some things has been surprisingly easy. Like we all got jobs pretty quickly. We found a flat like relatively easily, and so a lot of the practical stuff has been going quite well.
Yeah, that's great that you guys are really able.
We got quite quickly as well.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's great that you guys are really able to kind of settle in and kind of get your bearings. Which I think would probably make it easier to start jumping into the music scene there. What is the music scene like there? Do you guys fit in with are there a lot of other kind of like classic rock sounding bands, or how is that going for you guys?
Yeah, well, I think actually we're just still exploring because the music scene here is so big and there's so much underground stuff going on. So we haven't even found out like the exact band mingle with, or so to say, but
at the same time, like one of the reasons we moved here is because we love a lot of London-based rock bands. So
yeah,
we obviously knew some bands beforehand, but some of them don't play anymore. Some of them have become so big that we probably can't work with them at the moment, and so like it's just ever changing. So it's just to get to know your local scene. It takes time, but people have been super. Played one gig over here actually so far, so we still need to get out there a bit more, but so far it's going great. We have 2 more gigs planned this year, so it's going the right direction, definitely.
Yeah, taking that grassroots approach I think is really important, especially when kind of developing your fan base at first. I mean, of course having a social media following is important, but I think really having that crowd that will continue to show up to your shows is also really important.
Yeah, and just be humble and take the time to actually like get to know your fans when you can, and like have a chat with them and like get to know what they're into, and if they know some other great bands you can work with, and like it's all just like when you're at this stage of a band, it's all just one big family. So it's fun to get out there and speak to people about what they like, and then it's just amazing that you like there is some completely random people that actually enjoy your music. And actually, Big Matthias has quite a great story, because he and Conrad went to a concert the other night and had a bit of a celebrity moment. So if you wanna go into that.
we had a first like real fan meetup, I think, because me and Conrad went to see Rival Sons, great Brixton, and when we just when there was the warm-up band were playing, we just went out for beer, and then this guy just looked at us and said, "Before Fire," and I was like, "Yeah." And he just randomly stumbled upon our music on Facebook, I think, and he just liked us a lot, and so he was just there being real nice, talking to us, and saying keep on doing your thing and all that stuff. So that was great.
Yeah, that's really awesome. Yeah, I think it's great that you guys are starting to build that kind of community there, and I think you're right. I think it is sort of like a family sort of environment when you're first getting started. Definitely building that community. I think it is important for everyone.
Yeah, and a lot of the people that are really into our music at this stage, like we don't know them personally, but like we've spoken to them on Instagram, or we've seen them at a show, or like stuff like that. So it's you interact a lot with people, and that's really, really cool.
Yeah, I think social media is good in that way, because it does allow you to interact with your fans more. How do you guys feel about social media and kind of using that as a way to get your music out there?
I think we have actually quite different views on that in the band, because like we're different people, obviously.
Yeah.
So like I'm social media, and that's probably a more natural role for me, because like I use my phone a bit too much. But I think it's as I said, I think it's a great way to market your music, and you can really get into people and get to know people and talk to them. So I like that aspect of it, but at the same time, it's just like it's so difficult to make your through all these algorithms, and like if you want to do like paid advertising, like that's a whole science, and we're musicians, so it can be difficult, but it's awesome that it just allows you to create and deliver it to people immediately. That's a big definitely. But I think
I agree with you, like in many points. I think it's you have to be able to do these things as a band today. It's like you just have to. But I mean, you could change your appearance so much on the social media, and you can look like a great band could be. So it's just
That's very true.
So it's definitely something that we put a lot of effort into, and I focus on like aesthetics is really important to us. Like when we play live in our music videos, and of course that's also going to be reflected on our social media. So like it is something we obviously effort into, because it is important. It's super important, and that's where you meet most of new bands.
Yeah, I mean, I know I definitely came across you guys on social media, especially because I'm not out there in Europe. So social media was like an easy way for me to get into that.
Yeah, exactly. And it creates stuff like this. Like a month ago, we did an interview with a guy from Australia, because, Mark from the Rock Pit, and he's an amazing guy, and we came across him on like I don't think that was social media, but again, like just the internet, man. It's crazy.
Yeah, it really is great. I think it's really, really helping to widen the variety of music that we can all like listen to and enjoy. So I think in that aspect, it really is a great kind of tool for finding new music.
Definitely, yeah.
Yeah, so now let's get into your guys' music now. So you guys just released your first EP in 2019, and this is self-titled. So how was that? How was that kind of recording your first songs and really getting into the studio and kind of cranking down on those?
Yeah, it's been cool process. I think we took like a DIY approach to this recording, because we thought, obviously we don't have a lot of money at the moment, so we thought about how ourselves, and then we started recording some in in our rehearsal room, and we also hooked up with a nice guy who like was in a studio, and so we did kind of, it was not like in one place with one guy. It was a lot of different recordings and mixings and stuff like that. So
And I think that's reflected on the EP as well, that it is very like we wanted this to be like, this is Before Fire, this is get right now from us, and that is like, we always want to deliver as good a product as possible, but at the same time, as Matthias said, we're broke, so approach to it. And like, one of my friends has a studio, so we recorded some drums there one day. The next day we will record bass in our rehearsal space. Vocals was recorded in Matthias's old flat sometimes, and just stuff like that. And then so we went into a studio, and no, two of the songs actually we went into the studio to do, because Matthias has a friend as well. Yeah, he has friends, surprisingly. No, he has a friend as well that had access to a studio, so we went in there to record that. I think that was Risk It, the first track we recorded. And then Who's to Blame? Who's to Blame? The ballad, we recorded that in Vibe, which is one of our I guess we can call him one of our old friends now. He did the recording and producing on There She Goes, our first single. So like, it's just been a lot of like, hey, I know you, you want to work again, and stuff like that. Like, just networking and getting like good deals with people, and doing stuff ourselves, and improvising.
How long has the songwriting process been with actually like composing and making the music itself?
Yeah, that has that took a long time, because we but that was like by choice. We released this EP as, I think 3 or 4 of the songs were released as singles throughout the year. So a lot of it was actually like, okay, this song is done, now let's record it, and next song. So like, the songwriting wasn't like
all at once.
No, it wasn't at once. It was spread out throughout the entire year. So as soon as we were done and happy with a song, we would record it. So like, I think in total it took us maybe a year to like write all these songs. And Who's to Blame, for example, is an old song that was written originally before Matthias joined. Yeah, but then it got changed when Matthias joined, and so it's there's not a definite answer over like 2 years, I think, on off.
Yeah, and what's that songwriting process like? So do you all usually collaborate? Do you have one main songwriter?
I think it's fair to say that we all like collaborate to make the final product.
And all songs are different process. Yeah, it's not like we have one recipe and follow it.
And I think that's also one of the things that has always been super important in this band, that everybody is like an equal share of the songwriting. So like, sometimes it will be a guitar riff that starts it off. That would probably be that comes in with that. Sometimes it's a bass line that starts it off, and someone else comes in with that. So it's like, it's a different approach. Sometimes someone would come in with almost a finished product, and then we would like kind of shape the last 10% together. So yeah, everybody has a say in everything, basically.
Yeah, I think that's really great, because I know we hear of some bands where it's like, okay, I'm the one main songwriter and these are my songs, and then everyone else just kind of joins in on that. So I think it's great that you guys really have a very collaborative approach to it. And I think it also comes across in the songs, because all of the songs, they all have a very full and complete sound. They're all very cohesive. Even as you were saying, you recorded them in a bunch of different places. It all comes together with a very good cohesive sound.
That's great to hear.
Yeah, we're great at that comes across, because it is something that's important to us. That also, like, just making decisions about how a music video should look like, or what shows we should play. Everything is like, everybody gets an equal say. And it's difficult at times, like to to make
Yeah.
everybody happy, and
We don't agree on everything.
and we don't
so-
actually we don't agree on anything. So it's a really tough process, but at the same time, it's just worth it in the end.
Yeah, that's really great though that you guys are able to collaborate like that, because I think that that will keep the band going for longer, and it won't become this sort of like dichotomy between I'm the leader and you guys are the rest of the band.
Secret that everybody in this band has an ego, and everybody wants to be heard. So in
Yeah.
order for that to work, everybody needs to be heard as well. So
Mm.
Yeah, I think that's definitely very important. So talking about the music, especially talking about like your songwriting and everything, I was very curious as to where do you guys draw your inspiration from?
Well, I think it's very different because we're in this band. So like we all have a good basic rock and roll background. We love old classics and stuff like that. But then I think we have all these different like explorations of music. So yeah, me personally, like when I joined the band, I was a lot into folk and chilled music with just guitar and two harmony voices singing together. So all
Mm-hmm.
very low vibe music, and I think that was actually I come up with some of these things in songwriting as well, melody lines and stuff like that. So I think that is one influence, and the other guys have different approaches as well.
yeah, like a song we're working on at the moment was I had this idea for a song that had been like I think like the idea came partly from like a songs by the Struts and a song by the Doors, and then at the same time a song by the rapper Tyler the Creator. So it's like different influences, like from very different aspects of like music genres and stuff like that. And I know Conrad he's been listening to a lot of punk rock, so sometimes he gets an idea from listening to Iggy Pop and the Stooges. So it's just like it's very, very, very different music. But I think that the big like thing that we can all agree on is like old school rock and roll, and
Yeah.
we all love a good rock tune, basically.
Yeah, I think it is good though that you guys are all pulling from different sources, because then it allows you to create kind of something new and fresh instead of just being like a reproduction of an older band, you know?
And the best out of the 70s, but also the best out of the 2010s and the I don't know what you call the decade before that, and zeros, I don't know what you call it. So like just like it pulls the best out of like the old school and the new school.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I think that's really great, and I think you can hear that on the tracks because again, it does have this very kind of like gritty, hard punching sound, but you do hear some of these more modern melodies in them and these more kind of modern influences in them as well.
Yeah, and maybe a more modern production. Like our songs they're not 7 minutes long and have like long jam sessions in there. It's more like it's more modern in the production, maybe.
The structure of the song.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's great. Yeah, so where do you guys see your sound kind of changing and developing, or are you guys just gonna see where it goes?
I think we don't have like one view on what we should be. So we're developing, and when we moved here, I think rehearsing here, and we already changing. I think so every song we make, it's draws inspiration from like a lot of places. So I don't think it's something we try to control.
Nah, it's just whatever that day. But of course, we know that we're not gonna make a jazz track in like the next week. But you know, like within a certain limit, but that limit is quite wide, I would say. And we're still figuring out what we can do. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. So do you guys have plans in the future for releasing a full-length album, or are you guys just kind of playing live shows right now and really figuring that out?
Yeah, actually, we just recently had a talk about the future.
Yeah, we
so-
just had a meeting about it earlier this week, but I don't think we're 100% settled
no,
on what to do. But definitely more music is coming,
for sure.
and we're gonna have a strong focus on playing as many gigs as possible.
Yes, and discovering the music scene
Yeah.
over here. Yeah.
Building a network and all that. But yeah, new music is definitely gonna be coming out next year.
Would you ever make any songs in Danish?
I don't think so.
Nah, I don't think so. No.
Huh, that's really interesting. Yeah, I never thought about that, I guess. Yeah, so I guess for your inspirations, do you pull a lot from American music and English music, or are you pulling from kind of from all over the world?
Say American and English
Yeah,
music is the biggest influence. Yeah.
Yeah, English music definitely.
Mm.
Like both the major British rock bands and the American rock bands.
Hmm.
Yeah, for sure. That's what we grew up listening to. So yeah.
So I'd like to also talk a little bit about your music videos. So I know you guys have a few of them out, and I just kind of want to talk about what that was like for you guys recording your first videos.
Yeah. Well, the very first video we did was for for There She Goes
Hmm.
when Matthias had just joined the band.
Yeah, that was in the early stages
Yeah,
of
that
the
was
band,
that was
so-
like last summer, I think, something like
Yeah.
that.
So we just actually, when I joined the band, we like immediately started writing a song together, and we just wanted as a demo to hear how we sounded together,
Yeah.
and that ended up actually being mixed and then released, and then we just thought, yeah, let's do a music video. So everything went fast in the beginning.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's just all came together real quickly.
Yeah, and that was the most chaotic day of shooting that video actually.
Yeah, we
because
didn't know what we did.
we had no idea what we were doing. Like one of my brother friends, I knew he was really good at recording and editing, so him up,
Hmm.
and he wanted to he was willing to work on the project.
Hmm.
And we just the place where we had our rehearsal studio, they had another room that we thought was like kind of okay looking.
Hmm.
So we rented that out for free, luckily. And then when we got there, we didn't have any lighting.
Mhm.
So I had to run to a nearby theater
Yeah.
to borrow some lighting and play. So they were like, "You can
Uh,
borrow it, but please bring it back and please
Yeah.
don't break it." So we borrowed that for free and gave them like a box of chocolate to say thank you.
that was like stage lights, so they were like super hot, and it's a super tiny rehearsal room, so it was
Yeah.
just like 1,000 degrees in there.
And the camera just switched off at one point because it was so hot in there, and our smoke machine was smoking in the wrong way. And
Oh,
yeah,
wow.
yeah.
Yes.
So the first video, it was super fun to record. But and that was just like we just wanted to show people energy and to show like we're back and we have an amazing new frontman with us. And then what was the next video? The next video was I think it was Who's to Blame.
Yeah,
I'm quite sure it was Who's to Blame.
let's say it was.
It was Blame. And that video we actually recorded and edited ourselves. So
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
again, very DIY approach.
Yeah.
Mhm. I think that was the beginning of the EP mindset we got into, like, let's do this how we want to do this and
Mhm.
just do it ourselves as much as we can. So, and we actually, I as I said, I did some acting before I joined the band. It's actually the place where I started acting in Denmark. So we rented that space, so that's like a stage.
Mhm.
Mhm.
And we just stripped it for everything and set up there with some nice lights and just recorded.
Yeah, none of us had done a lot of filming, but I got the new iPhone 10s at that point, so I was like, hey, you're gonna be recording, and then obviously when I was in the shot, one of the other guys would be recording,
Yeah.
and then it was just like I was just editing everything in iMovie basically.
That's
So
crazy,
it was,
yeah.
it was a very DIY approach. Like I hadn't done editing at like for so long for
Mm.
such a long video before, and it was just like.
Mhm.
But I think the result was very very us in some way. Like it was
Mm.
it. But of course, like if we had a big crew, it would have been so much cooler. But yeah, it's also one of the fun things about being like an upcoming band is that you get to make your own music video like that.
Yes.
Yeah, I think actually I really enjoy that aspect of it, the sort of DIY, we're doing it ourselves. We have total creative control because I think it does kind of help establish your guys' own voice in both your music and your videos.
Yeah.
Because I think we see a lot now when we have huge production teams that it kind of becomes like the brand of whatever label they're producing on, not really the band itself. So I do love the fact that you guys have your control and it gives you your own voice.
Yeah, exactly. And it was just like let's just try it. If it doesn't work, then we'll try it again.
Yeah, you just gotta keep going.
um, we hired some more professional guys in to do the recording because we wanted to do a performance video again. So obviously all three of us had to be in the shot. So it was an old friend of mine from school, or two old friends of mine from school who did the recording. Both really talented guys, and yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, that's really awesome. And then we are getting close to time. So finally, I just want to talk to you guys about playing live and how these songs have been kind of received so far. I know you've only done a few shows in London, and I don't know how many you did in Copenhagen, but yeah, if you just want to talk about that.
Yeah.
I think we focus a lot on being a live band because on stage and with a live crowd, that's where the magic happens. so
Where the
to
music
say.
comes
Yeah,
alive.
exactly. So we focus a lot on that, and we try to deliver energy punch because there's nothing more boring than seeing a band on stage just living inside their own heads,
Yeah.
not
Mhm.
performing a show for the people.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's a main focus for us.
Like telling a story and going up and down in energy when we play Who's to Blame. I always think that's a great moment in the set
Mm.
to like
Mhm.
kind of take it down and just live in that. And also the ending of that song is always
Yeah.
very very special moment live because it ends like kind of
Super
sort of
yeah.
unexpected. So it's just like dead silence for like 10 seconds when the song finishes, and I think that's
Mm.
it's a nerve-wracking but at the same time a very beautiful moment. So like
Yeah.
the whole dynamics, and yeah, it's amazing. And I think like yeah, as I said, we only did one show over here so far,
Mm.
but that was great.
Mm.
People seem to enjoy the music, at least that's the
Yeah,
feedback.
more people than expected, actually. I think.
Yeah.
So,
And yeah, we did play some of these songs live in Copenhagen before moving here, but our last gig before this one in London was actually in May. But also like the songs had just been working really well for us live, so it's also nice to get to like to try the songs out before you record them.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really great. I think it is good that you guys focus on this more kind of live approach rather than recording approach because I think it's common today, especially because it's so easy to record your own music now without actually having to go into a studio, that a lot of bands have become more so recording artists rather than performing artists.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think it's great that you really kind of take that approach of, hey, we're a live band first, and we just
Yeah.
record music for you guys to listen to.
Yeah, it's just a super important aspect for all of it. Yeah.
So we are coming up on the 35-minute mark. So I just want to thank you guys so much for talking with us.
Thank
Thank
you,
you
guys.
so
Yeah.
much for having us.
It's
Thank
been
you.
great.